Chris to break here. Keep an eye on the rock, that white ball. See if he finds a way to squat it and keep it from flying back to the short rail like everyone else. Does a nice job of hitting high enough on the cue ball to get it to cinch forward, and he does make a couple solids.
Made quite a few, actually.
Yeah.
The 2 ball is a little bit of an issue if it doesn't go here. If he wanted to take the solids, the 9 ball, not really a great pocket for it. I think I would want to take the solids here. The 5 is a little bit of an issue, I think.
Yeah, I actually might go with a starting shot on the 11 ball if it passes the 1, and try to negotiate the 9 ball later. You can see a little hand flip from Chris there, because he knows it's not going to be easy either way he goes. So with the 2 ball as an opening shot, it looks like he's just going to try to figure out something to do with that 5 ball later. Unfortunately, there's no other solids on that side of the table to do something about it.
Yeah, Chris is really going to have a tough time here. I'm almost wondering, and no, it doesn't. I'm looking at it from a different angle now.
No.
The 5 ball can't go rail to the 10. This is not easy.
Yeah, he's going to have to get to the short side of the 5 and play it up table somehow. He's going to have to come with a decent angle on the 6 ball here, or some type of big stroke shot.
Well, and he got not the angle that he wanted. He's going to have to play forward now, unless there's a kind of crazy crossbank here.
I was going to say he might be able to rip it out 2 rails, but draw off the ball. The side pocket plays pretty big, especially when you're cutting across the ball, and it kind of kicks off the facing of the pocket into the pocket, because the cut-induced throw actually spins the 6 ball a little bit. He's looking at something with the 5 ball right here. What's he looking at?
I'm not sure what he's looking at all. That 6 ball does not. This is interesting here.
Oh, he was looking at a place for his cue ball here.
Okay, that makes sense. He's going to bank this 5 ball 1 rail.
Oh, yeah.
Up top. I see now what he's looking at. And it carries shape for the 8 ball.
Yeah, it's maybe a 20%er, I'd say, from that spot. Oh, my goodness, he rifles it in the pocket.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any better than that.
Well, he's tree-topped over the 12 here.
What? I can't imagine he nails that bank just like that. Boom, goes in the pocket. I can't imagine he misses this one.
Great couple of shots there by Chris Reinhold to keep Billy in his chair.
Well, and when you say fireworks between these two, that's what we're talking about. The very first rack, a huge finish for Chris Reinhold. Billy Thorpe here to break.
When Billy's really going to wind up and power up on a ball, you can see he goes a little bit extra sidearm and cocks his elbow to the side a little bit extra to get, it just feels more comfortable, I guess, for him to get more power on the ball that way. But you see he wound up for that break, made a ball, but now he's corner hooked on both the 5 and the 12 ball. He's got to look at the 2, I believe, and definitely the 9, but, neither of them are favorable opening shots here. Can he barely see enough of the 12 to cut this ball in? It looks like he's going after it. And he overcuts the ball. But the ball still finds the hole.
Wow.
Perfect speed to make the pocket play as big as possible. And now that he's, in this spot where he was forced to take stripes, he's got to play to the short side of the 10 and the 15 to develop something there. He's got a nice angle here to do it. But speed control. Ooh, he plays into the 3 ball to try to toss things up.
Oof. Billy really going
super aggressive there.
Here.
Yeah, super aggressive.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal shot there.
And unfortunately gets a kiss off the 10 to find the side pocket with the cue ball.
Yeah, that just sucks, really.
Yeah,
that sucks.
That's nobody's favorite feeling.
Oh, that's a kick to the gut there, because Billy was really running through that rack pretty well, doing maybe a little extra there, but unfortunate.
Yeah, Chris got to take mind of the shot clock here. He's got an extension he can use, but he's using all the time that he can to figure out how he wants to play through these solids here with ball in hand. This is a pretty common approach here to take care of the balls that are furthest from the 8 first, especially with a fairly open table. Kind of overhitting this ball just a touch. Thought he was going to get closer to the 10 than that, but turns out really nice. Now picking apart the solids on the side of the table that the 8 lies on one by one, and the 4 does pass the 8 into the upper corner, so he's not going to have to move the cue ball very much here to get out.
Yeah, opportunity for Chris to extend this lead here. He just needs a good shot here on this 4 ball. Yeah, no mistakes here. 1 ball in the corner, 8 ball, however he likes it. Don't foul.
Yeah, watch the finger on that 8 ball.
Get a little nervous watching him cue up over that 8 ball. And he didn't get any angle at all. He got a tough angle. He wanted to come back out, but
overcuts the ball, but it still goes.
yeah, and that's just really having a knowledge of how that ball is going to fall. And Billy probably not too happy about that one, but tough field. And Chris Reinhold looking to add his name to that list.
Watch this cue ball whip forward like last time. Just like that. It gets kissed by the 12 ball, yeah. Kissed by the 12 ball. Finds a pocket with one of the balls in the side pocket and a wide open table here. I'd say you have to go solids just because of where the 10 ball's sitting on the table.
And Trish just checking that 6 ball, saying yes, it is frozen.
Obviously going to have to take care of the 5 ball before dealing with the 7. So I'd imagine he'd be going after that ball next and then using the 6 ball to reposition himself back up table.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. Collins gave himself a good angle on the 6 ball so he can shoot at the 5. Maybe even wants to run into it to bounce it out.
He decides to run into the 7 there. That's an interesting choice instead of picking the 5 ball first and then using the 6 ball to float back above the 7.
I think maybe the only reason he did that is because if he is able to bounce that ball out, he has a little bit more room to get the shape. But here he tried to do it again, and it might have hurt him.
Yeah, it seems like a very high-risk, high-reward approach to that situation there. And now 7 ball does go in the side pocket, but going to have to find a way to get back up there nicely. Doesn't get too straight here, which is really good.
One thing we haven't touched on here, does the 8 ball pass the 12 into the top left?
I'd say almost certainly, yeah.
Perfect. Cue ball moving. He's going to be okay here.
He can drift up and play the 8 in the side, no problem.
Yeah, I was thinking that depending on his angle here, he may be forced to play that 8 in the left corner, but did get a good angle for the side pocket.
I like going all the way to the short rail here with the cue ball just to guarantee the angle and guarantee getting below the 8. Unfortunately, he hits the 7 ball really thick as he cuts it into the pocket. He was expecting to cut that ball much thinner and the cue ball not to veer so far to the side.
Can he still make this ball on the side? Oh, and the way he gets down tells me yes, he can.
Oh, he's double, triple checking.
Oh.
He's not sure. He kind of had a chuckle there with the referee.
As he's leaned down looking at the ball, she's also leaned down watching for the hit. Can he hit it good? He does.
Very nice.
Oh,
cue ball.
No.
Unbelievable.
And Billy just getting clarification. Says, what happens there? Trish letting him know that, look at this. He just barely doesn't clip the 13, doesn't clip the 11. If either one of those balls hit, that cue ball is safe.
And normally when you get down on the ball, you can really see clearly where the cue ball, like what path it's going to take. But probably because those 2 balls were sitting in such close proximity to the line, maybe he didn't even notice that the pocket was even in that general direction.
And he's got a pretty successful deal going out there.
Yeah, if you like watching amateur action, check out Post Up on YouTube. We keep it really fun and lighthearted. We don't overanalyze things because we all know we're not all run-out players like these guys. But when the game gets interesting, we certainly dive in and talk about it.
Yeah, I've always said that you and the young junior player need to make a podcast called "What the Heck is MySpace?"
Oh, yeah. Joey Tate. Shout out to Joey Tate.
Yeah.
Nice break here by Billy. Nice break. Plenty of options to get around the table. Looks like all the solids have plenty of options for pockets as well. It's really all about falling into a good zone right here on this shot.
Well, and here, Billy's got to be feeling really fortunate. And then to get that good open spread, this is literally a 3-0 spread to possibly a 2-2.
Right.
So, kind of crazy how that happened. But Billy's not going to cry about it. He's going to come up here and he's going to see if he can add to it his one game that he won so far. He's shooting this rack pretty well. Just doesn't want any silly mistakes.
Yeah, he's just taking a little bit of extra time right now because it's you're going to have to punch forward and deal with the 6 ball before the 1, because if you go for the 1 ball next, you're going to be flying away from the 6 ball after you pocket the 1 ball. So now really close attention to detail on where he falls on this 1. Probably wanting to get straight in, playing it in the upper left corner if it passes the 10.
Yeah,
but decides to go for the side, plays, maybe not, maybe still going for the corner.
Yeah, can he cinch this over if he goes in the side, or is he going to have to go up table?
He goes with the side pocket, and he's going to let the cue ball go a little bit.
Well,
don't want to overrun it here.
Yeah, that's not a good play there. Just
unfortunate.
Kind of ended up 50-yard line.
Yeah, there was about an 8-inch window, maybe 8 to 10 inches there along the cue ball path where he was going to be eclipsed by the 13 ball. But, a few feet on either side that he could have landed on it just fine. Now looking at kicking at the 8 here because he's got extra outs, as you might say. He could either kick it straight in the side, get fortunate that way, or kick it off the 12. Into the side pocket.
I had a similar situation like this in the qualifier that I played in for this event. I did not have a pocket for the 8 ball. Ooh, that was really close.
Unbelievable. He actually catches it perfectly thick for the ball not to fall in the pocket. If he catches that 12 ball any thinner with the 8 ball, it goes straight into the heart of the pocket and watches the 8 hits the 12 on the thick side and leaves a buffet on the table for Chris Reinhold here.
And in that situation, obviously, Billy played it very intently to make the ball on the side. For me, I'm firing that ball at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, trying to get fortunate in many ways. Yeah, I gotta like this if you're Chris. Just a nice straight-in shot to stay in stroke.
Oh, yeah. And here with the 12, as long as the 8 ball doesn't move any, he's good.
Yeah, no problem there. He had a massive pocket to cheat and make the 12.
And you look now, knowing what we know, looking at a 4-0 swing, then we thought it was going to be a 2-2, and now a stolen rack by some misplayed shape by Billy Thorpe.
Last time got kissed, but didn't find a pocket. There it is with the getting back to center table, but kissed a few times and ends up nestling between the 13, 10, and 2. And Billy being rather fortunate here to have a shot on the 14 ball. Well, say fortunate, but the 12 ball is tied up on the other side of the table.
Yeah, and looking at where that cue ball is, you would look at it and say, oh, this is horrible, but it's actually not that bad.
For pocketing the ball, but for future endeavors on other balls if this 10 ball doesn't go.
I actually like playing this 13 here and using just a little bit of draw to bump that ball. I think he's got a good angle on it.
I think you got to make sure you hit the 10 ball and not the 2. If you hit the 2 first, the 2 is going to drift below the 10 and cover the pocket for it. So you got to make sure you get into this ball decently and hit the 10, which he does.
Great shot there, and he has an angle on the 11 now where he can play it with a little speed and bump that 12 and 6 to open up the shot.
With the 15 or the 10 ball as insurance, depending on how the shot turns out. Ideally, you'd want a shot on the 12 ball after this, but we'll see how it goes. And it looks like it worked out. He's going to be able to elevate the cue and swing that 12 ball down the rail.
Maybe would have wanted to get a little bit more space in between the two, but it's going to work out, I believe. And
probably trying to play position for the 15 here, but has the 10 as insurance as well. Plays the 12 off of the 6 to hold the cue ball and open up the pocket for the 9 ball. That is next level thinking right there by Billy Thorpe.
It always blows me away a little bit how creative some of these guys can get. Really a great shot there to hold his cue ball in the correct position, creating angles.
Yeah, multifaceted shot there. I'd say a rack-winning shot in almost every situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to take a look here. It looks like he's got a bit of an angle on the 9 ball as he draws the cue ball. Doesn't want to flirt with that 7 ball too much as he moves towards the 10. So instead, he decides to take a longer shot on the 10 ball.
And I think that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just needs to make sure that he makes the ball and has a shot. Try and keep it simple.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably swings the cue ball 2 rails around the 8 here, and it laid pretty good with just a touch of outside spin there.
And good shot there for Billy to make it. 3-2, only trailing by 1 now. And Billy's, again, got to be feeling a little fortunate. So many crazy series of events in this match so far. Here we go. Billy Thorpe breaking.
Nice cue ball there. I like the way he hit it with kind of like a muted cue ball. The cue ball didn't travel a whole lot. Like a lot of the guys that are breaking these this format on this table, the cue ball's traveling really quickly towards the short rail. But Billy hits it with a flat cue ball and doesn't move a lot. And you can see he didn't even come close to getting kissed by any other balls. Made a ball on the break. Got plenty of spread here. And he's got the world in his hands. Let's see if he can do something with it.
This is a great opportunity here.
I don't think there's any reason to have to bump the 15 here. It may look like it's tied up, but I'm almost certain it's pocketable in the side pocket. So probably just time to roll forward and take care of the 11, 12, and 14, and maybe shoot the 15 last.
Yeah, this is
he gets high enough for the 15 here. It's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to shoot next. Maybe draw the rock into the 4 ball.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, and I think he wanted to take this now. That way he could minimize his chances of messing up his 8 ball shot. I think that's the only reason he played that ball that way. But
even so, looking here, if he was shooting the 8 ball here in the in the bottom left corner, it would have been doable.
Okay. Yeah. I think maybe just the risk of if I bump the 4 wrong, and if I get behind it, something like that, he wants to eliminate that. Played it very well. Has a great shot on the 8 ball here. We're going to see a tie ball game, 3-3.
With pressure on Chris to perform now on his break. Because being ahead early and your opponent catching you, the last thing you want is the complete momentum shift and the mildly deflating feeling of him taking the lead on your own break. So really big inflection point in the match here
It's a lot of fun having them in and around the arena. I know the fans enjoy it.
Big break there. Great cue ball. I know it drifted to the side a little bit, but really good speed on it, leaving himself pretty much in the center of the table in relationship to the short rails.
Yeah, now, Collins here, I got to ask, just because I see it, the 13 and the 1, neither one of them have a great shot on them simply because the one ball only has one pocket to go to. Do you lean towards the solids because the one has a pocket, or do you think you take the stripes?
The thing that would determine it for me is the fact that the 4 is laying close and it's playable up table. The 12 is a little bit below, so if you take stripes, this is solving the problem right there.
Well,
never mind, conversation ended.
Yeah, how do we even keep discussing that? He just answered it for us without even saying a word.
Yeah, there was nothing to think about, apparently. Just make the ball.
Don't you just love being shown up by these guys?
Oh, yeah.
You talk about something and bam, they're just going to tell you how it is by using their cue stick. And Chris here in a good position to take the lead 4-3. Needs a good bump. He got it. And like we were talking about last track, 3-3. This is the point where somebody's got to grab it and they got to go. And it might be Chris here.
Yeah, he's just looking at cinching the cue ball back a little bit to guarantee an angle to get to the good side of the 8 there.
And these guys playing fairly quickly. They are on their 7th game out of a possible 13. And the score here, 3-3, with 30 minutes left in the match.
Funny things can happen here with all the traffic down there. I'm not saying it's gonna, but just, if he ended up tucking underneath that 6 ball too much, the cue ball could have slid away from him, but things turn out really good. He caught the 6 ball full and finishes the deal.
And Billy here with a break, kind of a less powerful break.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have a ball go.
No ball down.
And this is a golden goose here for Chris Reinhold. He needs to win this rack, and he can get the first advantage. We've only seen 1 rack differences.
Look at him going after the 12 right now because it's covered by these solid balls. Must feel really good about the percentages on this bank.
Oh, yeah, he's going to bank this ball and get shape. And Chris, once again, making great shots. Normally, like I said, such a simple shoot the ball in the hole player. But I think 8 ball is bringing out the shot maker in Chris.
Yeah. Still not out of the woods, though, with where the 15 ball's sitting. Going to have to find a good angle on the 10 ball at some point to nudge things open. I believe the 15 doesn't pass.
I think he's got it here.
The 3. Even if he does get a hold of it, will the 15 ball pass the 3 if the 1's not in the way?
Yeah, and I think now he's switching because he thinks he can get a better angle on it, and I don't disagree. 11 ball here. Goes in the side or the corner. I think the side,
if you can roll it,
him a shot at the 9.
Yeah, exactly. If you can roll it in slowly into the side, that would be ideal if it's possible. Checking the shot clock there.
Well, and he opted for the corner there.
Yeah, he opted for the corner and tried to cinch the cue ball. Kind of lost it a little bit. And now he's going to have a really, while he's close to the ball, he's going to have to cut this fairly thin and open up the 2 and the 8 and hope to have an open shot on the 10 ball afterwards. This is a spot. Might even decide to jack up and try to bank the 9.
Yeah, this is tough. There's a lot has to happen here.
And he made the 8 in the side pocket. Yeah, a lot of things can happen when you get that close to your work and you have balls impeding your traffic. That's two different games that Chris has lost by either pocketing the 8 ball illegally or pocketing it and scratching at the same time.
Well, and Billy Thorpe's got to be feeling like $1 million. Maybe he should go buy a lottery ticket because he is tied up 4-4 with Chris Reinhold and has only made 2 8 balls. I take out my frustration on this 1 ball here.
It can be tempting to do that, but when you do, Watch that cue ball. He did. He hit that break hard.
Yeah, he put a little bit more power on that, and he's using the same break he used earlier today. No pop, just keeping that cue ball in line to come back. And he hit him a little harder than he has in the last couple of games.
Well, it's interesting, you know, when he ramped up the power there, that's when he didn't make a ball, right? So earlier, whatever speed he was hitting at earlier, he was getting the proper amount of throw on the balls that are in the rack coming off of each other so that one could find a pocket. And now, when you ramp up the pressure, it makes the balls open up a little bit differently.
Well, and this is just kind of a crazy match. I mean, Billy Thorpe is looking to become the next outlaw as he heists this match away from Chris Reinhold.
I don't know if it's so much being stolen or if it's more like a yard sale being given up for free.
Yeah.
Almost, unfortunately for Chris.
Yeah, it's absolutely brutal for Chris Reinhold. I still having trouble accepting the fact that Billy's in this position.
Yeah.
And Chris has really been the one that's played great.
He's been in the driving seat the whole match, really.
Yeah. But hey, sometimes that's just how the ball rolls.
After all, we are only tie game, so yeah, race to 3 from this point. Billy with an open rack here. One last big shot to find a good position on the cue ball. A lot of movement here from the cue ball.
Well, and all I can think of in this situation, if you ever walked up to another player and say, "Oh, how'd you do?" and they usually start off with, "Well, I should have been up 6-3."
Sure.
Chris really should have been up 6-2.
Yeah.
I mean,
he would be on the hill
brutal
right now.
situation.
That is brutal.
And Billy here taking advantage.
Bridging not really even close to the 8 ball. Plenty of space there. No worries on the foul, and great cue ball.
Yeah, it's only April, but it's Christmas Day for Billy Thorpe here. 5-4 when he inevitably pots the 8 ball. Big game for Billy Thorpe. That is what it is. I lost to a good player. And this morning, similar situation, played a young man who played Ultimate Pool in the UK.
Really?
And just last month moved to Kansas City.
No way.
Was excited to hear about Ultimate Pool being in the USA.
Yeah, very cool.
So we played that match, and once again, Hill got me. He played phenomenal. We opened up with matching break and runs.
Yeah.
And he inevitably ended my tournament run with another break and run. So
that's how it goes sometimes. Check this out. Billy Thorpe cutting this 14 ball in, trying to swing the cue ball to open up the other stripes. 15 ball, almost tied up with the 2, but it looks good next to the side pocket.
If he has a shot here on this 12 in the side, which I don't know if he does.
I think it goes, but it's a tight, a tight pocket between where the 8 is slightly blocking the pocket and the other point of the pocket. Yeah. And he's elevated over the 1 ball here, so
I think if he makes this, it's game.
Yeah, probably. And he hits exactly the middle of the opening.
Yeah, perfect shot there.
And it's pretty, honestly, mildly trivial from this point. I'd say you just follow this ball out, get all the way to the short rail, come off the short rail just to guarantee you clear yourself of the 5 and the 7. And the 9 ball sitting on a good part of the table to just stop the cue ball or slightly stun it off the rail.
Yeah, I think I like pulling back and just using a little bit of stun, which also helps my 9 ball go into the pocket.
Yeah. Kind of throws it off that pocket facing. Well, even if he's got to go back and forth here, it's really comfortable.
Yeah. And Billy here really with just a crazy match. And now he is looking to go up 6-4.
Find himself on the hill.
Oh,
unbelievable.
And Chris has absolutely got to be a little sick at his stomach at this point. I'm surprised he's holding it as well as he is.
Getting ready to hope that he can deliver on this break, and keeping in mind, remember, when he amped up the pressure, he didn't make a ball. I wonder if he's going to go for a slightly more controlled break this time. Yeah, I think he took it down by about 10%, but a ball still doesn't find a pocket. 6 ball almost ties up with the 9, but I think either grouping is doable from this point. Probably a little bit favored by stripes if you can somehow access the 9 ball at some point.
Yeah, and Billy really looking at an opportunity to win this match here. He just has one big shot to make.
Yeah, the 1 ball does sit nicely to open up the 5 ball at some point, or even play the 5 in the opposite corner that you play the 1 ball, right? If you play the 1 in the top right, play the 5 in the top left.
Yeah, of course. He may even have an opportunity. Does the 3 pass in the side pocket?
I believe it goes, yeah.
It's right there. He's really got a couple options.
Yeah, he's got options for every ball, so that's really where you want to be in 8 ball. He could even go forward and clip the 2 ball right now because he's got insurance with the 7.
That's kind of what I was looking at, which allows him a good angle on his next ball here.
It allows him a good angle on the 1 ball, actually, if he rolls forward a bit.
Yeah, and he's got that insurance policy in the 7 ball.
Yeah, and if things don't work out on the 1 ball as well, when he shoots the 1, he can always use the 2 or the 6 to reposition himself.
He's actually going here. He's going to look at moving this 6 ball, I think.
No, the 6 goes clean in the side, I believe. Yeah.
So getting a better angle to move the 5 ball.
Right, yeah, or even just follow up and shoot the 5 in the other corner. 6 is a nice key ball for the 8 as well if you stay below. If you stay below the, sorry, I should say above in the kitchen. Does decide to nudge the 5 ball. It turns out real nice.
And as Billy here gets ready to...
Really nice shot there. Really nice shot there. When you shoot that shot with draw at that speed, the side pocket becomes infinitely smaller.
Yes, it does.
And you have to hit the perfect spot in the opening to get the ball to fall, and he did. He's got an ideal angle on the 5 ball to float up for the 6 and get dead straight in. And that should, barring a catastrophe, do it for the match.
Yeah, and Billy's really played good. Hasn't made too many mistakes. Very unfortunate series of events for Chris Reinhold.
And it gives Billy the opportunity to jump at the opportunity and seal the deal with this 8 ball.
Well, and what a fantastic match for Billy Thorpe. And we will be getting his thoughts